So the fire alarm went off at my school. No one knows why. It was not a drill, but there was no fire. But we don't know what happened. So yeah, but we were out on the field and it was raining for a good like maybe 5 minutes until they cleared the building. It was like, oh, there's no fire, so let's go back. So we went back. Probably someone pulled it, but I have no idea who. So yeah. Okay, so I found this like really cringy video that I remember making. Okay, I remember so vividly like making it. But it's so cringy, and it was for my class. I posted it on Flipgrid, and I was thinking about it the other day, and I couldn't find it anywhere. Or I mean, I actually didn't look, but I didn't think I could find it. And guess what? I found it. So we're gonna watch that because I think it's gonna be really funny. So yeah, here we go. Welcome to mitosis. I need meiosis. Today's interphase 1, when the DNA is chromatin and gets replicated along with the organelles, all while the cell is still growing. Why am I like looking up like this? Or, like, welcome back to meiosis news. The day is prophase 1 and there is an emergency. The nucleus is disappearing. Personally, I have eyes on the spindle fibers because they just appeared out of nowhere. DNA is now represented by chromosomes connected. They are called tetrads. Breaking news on metaphase 1. The tetrads are lined up at the metaphase plate. It was so hard to film this. What? Welcome to meiosis news. The date is anaphase 1. Things are starting to get heated with the homologous chromosomes splitting up, just like me and... Thank you for tuning in today, Telephase 1. Sadly, we do not operate on cytokinesis. We will be adding the news for that here today. Okay, good. The nucleus is back. This is like right. This is the day after COVID hit. The chromosomes are still double-stranded. 2 haploid cells are now formed. Oh my god. Welcome back to meiosis news. Today marks interphase 2. This cell is doing great. Well, this just in, there is no DNA replication. Everything besides that seems about normal. I think it's prophase 2 today. It's the same process as mitosis, with the nucleus disappearing and the spindle fibers reappearing. The left one. What did I tell you? I literally, God. I don't know. Welcome to meiosis news. Today is metaphase 2 and everything seems to be going the same as mitosis. The chromosomes are lining up at the metaphase plate with the spindle fibers attaching to the centromeres. I don't even remember learning this, not gonna lie. Good morning, it's anaphase 2 today. Ew! Everything is still the same as mitosis. The chromosomes were split into chromatids and they were formed inside out and are now moving to opposite poles. The opposite pole. Today is the last day of mitosis news. Meiosis? It's telephase 2 along with cytokinesis. The process is the same as mitosis, except we end up with 4 haploid cells instead of 2 diploid cells. Okay, that's enough. Good night. Okay, let's see how that turned out. I don't think you will ever understand how hard this is. This was really... I do not think you will ever understand how hard this is. I love my doggo. Oh, that was it. What was the... Oh my god, I can't. The part that killed me was when I went... Like, what? Okay, it was right... This is like... Okay, so the reason why there's 2 of me is because it was supposed to be a partner project and COVID hit, like, literally, like, when I was supposed... Okay, basically when I was recording this, I was gonna do it at school with someone else, and then COVID, I was gonna do it like the next day, and then COVID hit the day I literally brought like my camera and things like that, and so we like went home, okay? But my teacher was like, okay, like for the next 6 weeks, because we had 6 weeks off originally, she was like, yeah, just so post the video on Flipgrid, and then we'll like watch it after the 6 weeks. And it was a partner project, so obviously I couldn't do that with my partner because I didn't really know him that well. So I ended up just doing it by myself because she said we could. But I was like, you know what? It's still a partner project, so here we go. And that's what I created. I'm kind of cringing. Oh my god, that was so cringeworthy. I hated that. That was so weird. Like, what was that? I'm gonna cry. Like, what was that? But yeah, so that was that, I guess. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Okay, so today I had a Socratic seminar and a physics test, and I actually got 100 on my physics test. So what is good? We're doing great. And then in my Socratic seminar, I have things to say. So basically, it was about the Gilded Age in America and the progressive era that follows it. Okay, and my group. Okay, so actually one good thing. Okay, good things and then bad things. So good things is that we never actually had like a leader who completely took it over. Like the group right after me had like 2 heavy leaders that talked a majority of the time. Like it literally over half of the time it was those 2 talking. And then the whole like the other like I don't know 14 people were just sitting there like anyways. But yeah, so that was a good thing about my group is that we didn't really have like a huge like 1 person 2 people leader kind of thing going on. And then the other one is that there, okay, this is good and bad, there just wasn't like any like awkward, I mean, yeah, I guess this is a good thing. There isn't no awkward like silent moments, you know, like there is in a lot of seminars when it's like they just like go silent until someone picks it up. But there is like nothing, but that also goes into the bad things. So those are like the 2 main good things. There's like, I'm sure there's others, but those are the 2 that stick out. Okay, and then bad things, okay, is that okay, so while there wasn't any like prominent leader who talked, there was someone who I could tell they were keeping the conversation on something they know a lot about. Because we did like posters, right? And we all did different topics for posters. And this person said that they did workers' rights. And the topic we only talked about, the only thing we talked about was workers' rights. So yeah, and she was the first person to ask a question. So she was like, yeah, so like, what do we feel about like workers' rights in the Gilded Age? And then that evolved. So like we almost got out of it until somebody asked, okay, there was a huge possibility for us to get out of the workers' rights era because we kept talking about it for like 10 minutes, and while that's fine, I wanted to talk about things like, you know, immigration or westward expansion or like, you know, political economy, like social things, not just working. But okay, so somebody like was able to butt in with a new question, but guess what question? They were so close. They said, so how is life for the immigrants in the workforce? Like, you could have said anything else. I don't even know why they decided to switch it back to in the workforce when they could have just like kept going. They didn't even have to say in the workforce. They could have just said with immigrants, you know, like there's a lot of things like the Chinese Exclusion Act, you know, there's so many things we could have mentioned, but no, we just talked about work rights. And like it was so bad because they were so close to getting out of it again. So somebody asked another question that was, how does like the Gilded Age relate to like modern society? Okay, that's pretty good, you know, you can add some things. But then the girl who asked the first question goes, yeah, I want to add on to that. Like, how, like, do we feel like we could fall back into a second Gilded Age the way we're going? And that's just like a weird question. Like, what do you mean by second Gilded Age? And then we started talking about workers' rights again and like labor, and they were talking about like, oh yeah, you know, like Amazon, they don't like, we're hearing all these things about like them being treated poorly and things like that, and I'm like, well, yes, while they do have like poor working conditions, it is not anywhere near as bad as like the first Gilded Age, you know, and like we have certain things in place that it wouldn't ever get that bad unless they like break all these laws now. But I mean, okay, like no offense to these people because these people are really nice, but it's just like, why did we have to keep like, and then we talked about Amazon for 30 more minutes. We talked about Amazon for 30 minutes in a Socratic seminar about the Gilded Age, and my teacher is probably like sitting here like, why are they talking about Amazon? Ugh. It was so, I'm just so, it boggles my mind. Like, it boggles my mind. Like, we just kept talking about like Amazon. And then they were talking about like the working conditions in the new Gilded Age. Like, that's not a thing. There's no new Gilded Age. Like, and I'm like, okay. Like, I don't know. I feel like right now, where we are, we have like media, and while things are still bad, and yes, it could be improved, I don't think we're in another Gilded Age right now. Because I feel like there's enough recognition to make it not a Gilded Age. And like, to call it a Gilded Age is weird. And it's like, I don't know. And we just kept talking about it. And then, so I was sitting next to like a friend, well, I don't know if we're friends per se, but like, we were friends in middle school. I don't really know about now, but so we were talking after, and we're like, we were so mad. We're like, what is this? And like, okay, so the thing is that, okay, another thing besides like the topic of it that bothered me is that since it wasn't just one leader, I'd say there were about maybe, so there's 16 people in our group. I'd say there's about like 7-ish or 8, like, so half of the group who talked over the other half, okay? I will say I was more in the middle. I was middling. I wasn't like in the talking group as much as I was, but I was definitely not one of the quieter ones. But basically, so because it was such a large group that were talking, like, so basically normally when people like cut in, if they get, like, if 2 people start talking at the same time, it goes to the person who talked the least. But since there's so many people who talked, you can't really remember who talked more than the other people. So you kind of just, because like there could be someone who's talked like 5 times, but since they haven't talked within like the past like 10 minutes, you wouldn't know. But like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just, so they would cut in with someone else who hasn't talked, who's only talked like twice, but the only times they talked were in the past like 10 minutes. So like, I don't know, they just, it's so, I don't know, it's so hard to explain. But like, since the group was so large with like how many people normally talked, it was just hard to differentiate like who talked the most, who talked the least. Like, you can definitely tell like, oh, this person like barely talked like at all, or like this person was like pretty good, like pretty there in the group, but it's like they still haven't talked the most, you know? So like, do we give it to them? I don't know, you know? This is so confusing. Let's just say it was my first Socratic seminar in person, and it was okay. I don't know, I liked it. Okay, I will say I like it better online, because when you know someone wants to talk, they unmute, kind of. Because when I was doing the Socratic seminars, like all of my groups, we always go on mute, so like any background noise or like white noise doesn't get picked up like on Zoom. And whenever we wanted to talk, we just unmute ourselves. And so that would be like, oh, that person's gonna talk next, so let's not interrupt them. But in person, it's really difficult to like cut in because everyone just wants to talk. So you're just like, ugh. And then, okay, the thing I've noticed is that when you, like, when everyone goes on a tangent and just, like, it's such a large group that when you want to talk about something and someone interrupts you, you just kind of remember it. And then you say like you just keep stacking up, and then once you actually get the chance to talk, you just talk about everything, and then it makes the conversation so much longer. And I think that's one of the other issues, is that since there are so many people who are talking, since there are so many people who are talking, it was like, every single time one person stopped talking, 2 or 3 people like tried to start talking, and everyone just interrupted each other, and then we're just like, oh, you can go. And then the person who said you can go, being the nice person, they just never go after that because someone else wants to talk. So it's just like, geez, like, calm down. I don't know, I'm just like, it was so random. I think I talked a good amount though. I don't know how my grade's gonna look though, but I mean, whatever. I hope I talked enough. I hope my ideas were good. My teacher was probably really annoyed by us though, because we literally went on a 30-minute tangent on Amazon, and then the new Gilded Age. Like, what is that? And I tried so hard every single time I got the chance to talk to like relate it back into the Gilded Age. And I was like, yeah, like, you know, talking about like the Gilded Age, I feel like something about the Progressive Era, like reforming it, I guess, and like just everything like that. And then they were like, ha 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 ha, but like blah blah blah, Amazon. I'm like, calm down. I can't deal with Amazon anymore. This is too much. But yeah, so that's my opinion, my 10-minute long rant on my Socratic seminar. Thank you. I was invited to 2 Friendsgiving things, except one of them is tomorrow, and I'm working tomorrow. And the other one, when they first asked, was like, can we do it on Tuesday, which is tomorrow? And I'm like, I'm working, and I also have other plans if I choose not to work. But I will be working because I'm serving. And actually, my first Friendsgiving group, which is my homecoming group, they're actually gonna come to my workplace and I'm gonna serve them, hopefully. So yeah, and then the other group, I think they're doing it on Saturday, which I also don't think I can go to, but unless my family get together like gets out early, then maybe. But I don't know, so I guess we'll see. You know what I realized? If I really wanted to, I could change the narrative, you know? I could tell you random crap that did not happen to me, and you probably wouldn't know, unless you're me. Actually, no. I feel like if I said just like the randomest crap, like I would not even remember it in like a year. I'd be like, oh yeah, cool, that happened to me. Like, I could be like, guys, I got engaged today, and we eloped. And like, no one would know. I'm kidding. Like, obviously, it's very unlikely that that would happen, but like, I feel like people would be like, did you actually? I guess now that I said that, you'll never know. Oh, I'm kidding. I did not do that. That's so weird. Oh my god. But like, honestly, what if I just make up things? I'll have like one thing per vlog that I just randomly make up. I'm kidding. I don't know. I don't really know. That would just be really weird. 'Tis time for me to go to bed. Why? Because I'm tired. So good night. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this, do you want to see more unit to do video? Bye 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 bye. Tomorrow is a run day in PE. 80-minute long classes. Yeah. I'm tired. Deceased.